Honestly, there's something that's been keeping me up at night lately.
Wait, really? What's going on?
I'm a little scared. Think about it. Just a few years ago, everyone was telling you to learn coding, saying it was a guaranteed career path. Then, in the blink of an eye, AI is writing the code for you. I don't even know if the things I'm studying right now will still be useful by the time I graduate.
So it feels like the very ground beneath your feet is moving.
Yes! That's exactly the feeling. You can't even stand steady.
There's a perfect English word for this feeling: volatile. Unstable, unpredictable, ready to shift at any second.
Yeah, the world just feels more and more volatile.
But wait, let me tell you something. It might actually give you goosebumps.
Huh? Like what?
This fear of not being able to stand steady, there is someone who wrote it all down, word for word, 3,000 years ago.
Huh? 3,000 years ago? Who could have done that?
A king. The author of Ecclesiastes, traditionally identified as Solomon, a man who had everything, experienced everything the world had to offer.
But what does he have to do with our AI era?
His very first line is, "There is nothing new under the sun."
Oh, so you mean this AI revolution that feels so brand new to us?
Might actually bring challenges that are fundamentally the same as what people faced 3,000 years ago.
That's crazy. You're saying King Solomon already did all the worrying for me?
And in much greater detail than you. But, and here's the catch, he didn't just lie down and give up because he saw through it all.
That's exactly what I want to ask. Why would a pessimistic king who saw through everything be the antidote to our AI anxiety?
That's exactly what we're going to unpack today. In fact, I'd go so far as to say he has a piece of advice that, the moment you hear it, you'll say, "Exactly." That's what I always do. But that kind of agreement is actually the scariest part.
Wait, so you're ready to roast me again? Fine, bring it on. I'm Ken.
I'm Anne, under the sun, inside AI. Let's begin.
All right, you've got me hooked. Why would a king who had absolutely everything keep talking about vanity or meaninglessness all the time? Was he depressed?
That's how a lot of people read it. But the issue is with the translation. The word for meaningless or vanity in the original Hebrew is Hevel. What do you think it means?
Meaningless or useless?
No. The literal meaning is a breath.
Wait, a breath?
Think about when you exhale on a cold winter day. You see a puff of mist, and it vanishes in an instant. Hevel isn't saying something is worthless. It means you can't grasp it, you can't keep it, it's fleeting.
Oh, so he isn't saying life is garbage. He's saying life is evanescent, ungraspable.
Exactly. He is describing a texture, not passing a judgment.
Wait, that's a huge difference. Meaningless tells you to give up, but ungraspable tells you to let go of trying to control it.
And there is a third interpretation, which I think hits closest to home today. A scholar named Michael Fox translates it as absurd.
Absurd?
Yes, it's the gap, the unexplainable crack between what you expect and what actually happens. Someone works hard to equip themselves for over a decade,
Only for a single technological shift to make a lifetime of skills obsolete overnight.
now you get it.
Honestly, I really feel that one. So, is the teacher telling me to just lie down and give up?
No, he's not telling you to despair. He's just being completely honest about the rules of the game. The question isn't, why is it like this? But, how do you plan to live in spite of it?
I can buy that framing. He's not throwing cold water on us, he's just laying out the rules clearly first.
And the teacher's first answer might actually surprise you. Ken, why don't you read it?
Enjoy life with your wife, whom you love, all the days of this meaningless life that God has given you under the sun, all your meaningless days. For this is your lot in life, and in your toilsome labor under the sun. Whatever your hand finds to do, do it with all your might.
Look at that word, lot, or portion. The original Hebrew is chelek, meaning what has been allotted to you, what is yours to have.
Wait, 1 second he says everything is vapor. completely ungraspable. And the very next second he tells me, go have a nice dinner with the person you love.
And it's not just a momentary lapse into sentimentality. If you count them, throughout the book, every time he talks about Hevel, he immediately inserts a passage about eating, drinking, and finding joy over and over again. It's his rhythm.
So, because you can't grasp it, it's all the more reason to receive the present moment. That's his core logic, not him softening up.
Exactly. So here's the question. If one day all our toil, our processes, our analysis, our paperwork is completely taken over by AI,
Then, what is our portion?
good question.
The portion that the scripture puts front and center isn't your output or your KPIs. It's the person next to you. It's this meal. It's this very moment. AI can't enjoy these things for you.
I agree with that, but let me play devil's advocate for a second.
Here it comes.
Just because AI does the work for you doesn't mean you automatically know how to enjoy life. When people lose their jobs to automation, they feel anxiety, not liberation. That portion is something you have to actively choose to receive. It doesn't just fall into your lap just because you have free time.
True. It turns out enjoying life is actually a skill we have to practice.
Okay, now we've come to what I think is the most powerful passage in the entire book. Chapter 9, verse 11. Ken.
I have seen something else under the sun. The race is not to the swift or the battle to the strong, nor does food come to the wise or wealth to the brilliant or favor to the learned, but time and chance happen to them all.
Look at how he lists them. The swift, the strong, the wise, the brilliant, the learned. For every single one of them, it's not guaranteed.
Every single trait we think should guarantee a return comes with a not necessarily. And that final line, but time and chance happen to them all.
It's actually a very brutal proposition. There is no reliable mapping between your effort and your outcome. In between, there is a layer of absolute randomness that you cannot control.
And that is exactly where the pain points of the AI era hit the hardest. It used to be that study hard, get good grades, find a good job felt like a viable path. But now, the race is not to the swift. Because no matter how fast you are, AI is faster.
And this phenomenon is something a modern author has spent his entire career writing about, Nassim Taleb. He wrote a book called Fooled by Randomness.
What's it about?
It's about our systematic bias of mistaking luck for skill. When someone succeeds, they and everyone else construct this narrative of they succeeded because they're so smart. But a lot of the time, the truth is they were just standing in the right place at the right time.
Which is exactly what the teacher means by time and chance happen to them all.
Exactly. Taleb also has this concept called the black swan, an unpredictable, highly rare event that completely rewrites the entire game once it happens.
Why is it called a black swan?
Because seeing 10,000 white swans still can't prove that black swans don't exist. Your sense of security is built entirely on things you haven't seen yet.
That's wild. And believe it or not, the very next verse in Ecclesiastes is about exactly that.
Go ahead and read the passage.
Moreover, no one knows when their hour will come. As fish are caught in a cruel net, or birds are taken in a snare, so people are trapped by evil times that fall unexpectedly upon them.
No one knows when their hour will come. That is the core thesis of a volatile world. You can never predict when that moment will arrive.
And that imagery of the fish is so vivid. 1 second, the fish is swimming freely in the water. The next second, the net drops, and it's over. There is absolutely no warning.
Taleb tells a very similar story called the turkey problem. A turkey is fed for 1,000 days, getting food every single day, and its confidence grows stronger with each passing day, thinking, humans love me. Then, on day 1001,
Thanksgiving. Whew, that's brutal, but true. The fish and the turkey didn't think logically wrong. They just had absolutely no way of predicting that inflection point using historical data.
And that is precisely the blind spot of the AI era. All of our AI predictions are trained on past data. They are incredibly good at telling you the patterns of those first 1,000 days. But that black swan on day 1,001? They are just as blind to it as we are.
So AI gives us this illusion that everything can be predicted and optimized. But the teacher would tell you this illusion of being in control is itself just chasing the wind.
Well said. So the question is the teacher telling us to just sit around and wait to die? Of course not. He gives us some very practical advice in chapter 11.
Ship your grain across the sea. After many days, you may receive a return. Invest in 7 ventures, yes, in 8. You do not know what disaster may come upon the land.
There are 2 main ways to read this. I'll give you both and you can choose. The first one is older and more traditional, based on how older translations like the King James Version put it, cast your bread upon the waters. Give a portion to 7 and also to 8. It's about radical generosity. Give while you can, share what you have, because you never know when disaster might strike and you'll be the one needing help.
And the second reading?
The second reading is the modern one, which is exactly how the NIV translates it. It's about diversification. Shipping grain across the sea means maritime trade, and investing in 7 or 8 ventures means literally spreading your risk, not putting all your eggs in one basket.
To be honest, when I first read it, my mind immediately jumped to that diversification version.
See? Remember what I said at the beginning? He has this piece of advice where you'd go, exactly, that's what I always do.
Oh, right. Because it's exactly what I do. Diversifying portfolios, spreading the risk. It's identical.
See, I called it.
Man, when you put it that way, it gives me goosebumps. But it's true. So I'll take both readings. Be generous when you can, and at the same time, don't put all your eggs in one basket. In a volatile world, those two don't contradict each other.
Speaking of the modern day, the teacher's wisdom of lack of control was picked up by 2 later philosophical lines. The first one is very popular in tech circles lately, Stoicism.
Stoicism? Isn't that the kind of philosophy where you don't care about anything and act all cold and detached?
The core idea is simple. Distinguish between what is in your control and what is not, and then don't waste energy on the things you cannot control.
Easier said than done. With new AI tools coming out every week, and what you learn today becoming obsolete tomorrow, how is anyone supposed to remain completely unfazed?
That's why Ecclesiastes is much warmer. Stoicism tells you to train yourself to be cold, but the teacher says precisely because you can't control anything, you should enjoy a good meal, drink some wine, and savor the present.
Sounds like the teacher knows how to enjoy life a bit more. What about the second line?
The second one is deeper and it hits right where it hurts, Albert Camus and the myth of Sisyphus. The absurdity he talks about is a close cousin to the Hevel we discussed in the first section.
Sisyphus? The guy who has to endlessly roll a boulder up a mountain only for it to roll back down, so he has to start all over again?
Exactly.
Man, that is literally my life right now. You learn a framework, it gets replaced 2 years later, and you have to start learning from scratch again. Isn't our generation just rolling boulders?
And Camus said that precisely because of the absurdity, you must rebel through joy. We must imagine Sisyphus smiling as he pushes the boulder.
2 people standing in front of the exact same crack, walking in 2 completely different directions. Camus is about a godless rebellion, while the teacher is about
a godly receiving. Eat your food, drink your wine, because God has already approved what you do.
even if the boulder is destined to roll back down, the warmth in the palms of my hands at this very moment is my portion.
So you see, from the teacher 3,000 years ago to Taleb, the Stoics, and Camus, everyone is actually asking the exact same question. In a world you cannot control, how can a human being live with dignity?
And having come this far, if I had to sum up today in one sentence, I'd say this. The wisdom of the teacher isn't if you're prepared, you'll be fine.
Right. It's you prepare, and yet you accept that you are not in control. Both of these must hold true at the same time.
Ship your grain, invest in 7 or 8 ventures, do what you're supposed to do, but he immediately reminds you that doing so doesn't guarantee you win.
And he doesn't resolve this tension for you. He doesn't give you a formula of do this and you'll be safe. He is teaching you how to live with less anxiety and more dignity in a world you cannot control.
People who are prepared might face it with more grace, but grace doesn't mean winning.
And I think in this volatile AI era, the most timely point of this book is when the whole world is telling you to go faster, optimize more, control more, the teacher pats you on the shoulder instead and says, "Kid, you're not in control.
But you can have a nice dinner with the person you love right now.
This moment, this meal is yours."
Enjoy it.
Thank you for listening.
If you have a crack of your own in your heart, leave a comment and let us know.
Under the Sun, Inside AI. See you next time.
Bye bye.